My name is Jim Boone, Senior Producer of Saints Row 4, and we're going to show you some new footage in the open world today. What you're seeing here is a very dark and twisted version of Steelport, where the aliens have abducted the president and put him in this virtual prison. And so you see a lot of different alien structures around, the large alien mothership up above. And we're actually on top of one of the alien towers right now. And so what I'm going to do is start to show some of the superpowers that we have and the ability to be able to navigate through this city in a completely new way. So we're going to super jump off of this tower. I'm going to show you one of our fun moves called Death from Above, where what I can do is take my targeting reticle down there, aim it up, and just fling myself down on the ground. Does a massive amount of damage if it connects with an enemy. And now I can super sprint through the world, run people over, run cars over. It's super jump, wall run up buildings. Your ability to navigate through the world is just amazing. Glide around. And here I'm going to go and engage with a bunch of enemies at one of our flashpoints. Actually, get to the next section. Yeah, navigating through is just a ton of fun. It's a pretty addictive sort of thing, especially with things like the clusters here. So these are scattered all throughout the world. You can pick these up. And what they do is they actually are the currency you use to be able to upgrade your superpower abilities. And so the more of these you collect, the easier it is for you to be able to navigate through the world. And what you're seeing here is actually a fairly upgraded version of the character. So, my ability to jump super high and run as fast as I am, running up walls, these are all things that you'll have to be able to upgrade as you play through the game. But we wanted to unlock all this stuff so we could show you some of the cool and fun new stuff. While I'm roaming through the city, what I'm going to do now is go into my quest log and bring up some of the activities that I can go do. These activities are a number of, we've got one new one and one returning one. One we're going to go do now is called Blazon. Just going to run through the city and get there. And what Blazon is all about is it's basically a race through the city where you're going to use your super sprint to help navigate through the world. You have these green orbs that if you can collect the green orbs, they're going to boost your speed, and you're wanting to go from each arrow to the next. The arrow will point you in the direction that you need to go. So it basically takes your fun super sprinting ability and turns it into a mini game. And again, you can run right through vehicles. You can jump. You definitely feel like a total badass running through all this.
Come on, need to keep going.
What I'm trying to do is to get to the finish line as quickly as I possibly can. And what you're doing is you're competing for different levels. So right now, I'm on a pace to be able to hit gold. And we'll see if I can be able to hit that. And as you play through the game, and the more of these gold levels that you can hit, there's different unlockables that will come. So here's one where I have to use super jump to get over the flaming barriers. And here going up with the wall run to get to the finish line, and I was able to hit gold. There's a number of different quests that you'll be able to complete throughout the game, and all of our quests have some pretty awesome rewards. It's everything from new superpower upgrades to new weapon types. There's new costumes. It's just a lot of different things that you can get from doing these quests.
Tell if there are any female.
And on my way to the next quest, I'm going to go ahead and load that up. We're going to show you some of Professor Kinkies' new items, but on the way, I want to show you some of the new weapons that we have. And first I'm going to show you one of the weapons we're unveiling here at E3. It's called the Black Hole Launcher. And it behaves pretty much just like it sounds. It's enough a miniature black hole that will suck anything that's nearby into it. Does a ton of damage. I'm also going to use my telekinesis ability to just launch things around. In fact, that's when we go to this activity right now, you're going to see me use it quite a bit. We've had fun coming up with some of these new activities that focus completely on the superpowers. And Professor Genki is again, it's all about telekinesis. And this is called Professor Genki's Mind Over Murder. And the goal of this is to use telekinesis to pick up a certain particular object and throw it through the target that's floating in the air. So, for example, you've got Professor Genki's head here. I'm going to grab that and throw it through the target of his head. And you want to do this as quickly as you possibly can. So here I'm going to grab a vehicle and toss it through the vehicle target. Or I can toss a humanoid and toss them through that. And again, it's a timed sort of event, so you want to go as quickly as you possibly can and use your superpower abilities to navigate from one section to the other. So you can grab the vehicle and toss it through the target. And once you get used to this, you can do this thing in no time flat. And you also have to be careful because as you're doing all this, bad guys are going to keep coming after you. And so you've got to be very careful to watch your health at the same time as it presents a challenge. Right now we're doing easy mode, but it definitely gets progressively more difficult as the player continues on. Grab a character and finish this stage. Now I want to go to the final stage. Again, grabbing Genki's target. And if you're quick on the draw, you notice I tossed it and was able to acquire it again while it was still in midair before it even hit the ground. Grab the human. Gotta grab a vehicle. One of the things that's fun is when you've got a vehicle grabbed with telekinesis, you can still super sprint in the world. So as I look around for another vehicle, telekinesis. You can also super jump with it. You can glide. So all your abilities are still there while you have an object captured. And toss it through, and I hit a silver completion level. We've got a ton of new activities for the player to be able to use. And the quest log is fantastic, way to be able to just keep going through these. And what I'm going to do next is show you guys some of the new superpower combat abilities. Once I get back into the world. So we've introduced two new ones today. The first one I'm going to show you is called Buff. And what this does is it sets the player on fire, and anyone that's close by will be consumed with the flames. And when I shoot enemies, while I'm buffed, they will also be set on fire. If I can actually get one. And we also have Stomp, which will do a 360 concussive blast. Does a ton of different damage. Again, you're seeing a pretty upgraded version of it right now. And one of the fun things about the superpowers is that you can use these independent of each other. So we've revealed Blast before, where it'll freeze enemies. So they're frozen solid. I can pop back to Stomp immediately, fire it off, and it'll instantly kill these guys because they were all frozen. Or I can grab Telekinesis, fling a guy in the air, immediately pop back to Buff, and activate it and set guys on fire. So each superpower has its own recharge timer. You don't have to wait for one universal timer. It's a nice way to be able to change from one superpower to the next. And going over to our weapons, we have a bunch of different weapon costumes. And here you're seeing one of our squirt gun weapon costumes, where we've taken a machine gun and turned it into a giant squirt gun. And it still behaves exactly like the machine gun. It still has all the same upgrades that you've done as a player. It just helps you customize the look of your character that much more. And to show you another one of our new weapons, we have a laser sword that's a melee weapon. So if I go up and swing it at someone, it'll just disintegrate them. It's definitely one of our more powerful weapons. We also have superpower melee abilities, so I can super sprint at an enemy, send them flying. Try to pay off the fact that you are this crazy powerful president. Then off I can go roaming through the world. And of course, no demo is complete without showing our favorite new weapon, the dubstep gun, where you get to kill people with the power of dubstep. And so this is Saints Row 4. This is going to be coming out August 20th, and it's available for Xbox 360, PS3, and PC.